Greetings, it's Vaygrim. Welcome to a Friday episode of VAYGRIM'S Chance. It's a little rainy here, you probably can't tell. At least I think it's rainy. It's a problem with having night vision all the time. You're never quite sure. If you need to go sleep. Yep, you can only sleep at night. Nope. Let's drop down here. Okay, so last episode I was working on an auto processing system. This is the overhauled and simplified version. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. First, I want to actually get to the mystery that was Ender chests. For some reason, something got bugged, okay? First, it was auto processing. I couldn't get power to this, so I broke these cables down here. Now, I accidentally broke the quartz fiber that was connecting this to this, these two systems basically. So suddenly this became a storage bus, and that's that. This became a storage medium. However, I broke that cable, put the quartz fiber back afterwards, and what I've since discovered was the reason that auto processing wasn't working. You see that little paddle right there? That is an Ender IO ME cable that disconnected from the quartz fiber. That paddle was no longer there. So I had to break that section of cable and put it back. That corrected this problem. All of this is working again. Unfortunately, that is one of those little mystery problems I have to track down every time I change dimensions. So anytime I go to the end or the nether or the twilight forest or anywhere else, some part of the AE system that uses Ender IO conduits stops working. So I think there's a point very soon where I'm going to pull all those things out and run them through the floor again with normal conduits and facades, I think. I'm not sure. Or I don't know if I can do Forge Multi. Can I do Forge Multi-Part? Let's do a cover. I'm going to get one of those. Two of those. And a covered cable. What a coincidence. Let's put one of those down. That. So what happens? Okay, I can actually put Forge Multi-Part with those. So what I might have to do is pull out all the ME conduit. I got a freaking wrench right here. Pull out all the ME conduit and put in Ender IO, normal cable, normal conduit from Applied Energistics. My God, look at all of the bows. I'll show you a little trick. Let's get one of those. Completely intact bow. I know so many people that don't even realize that you can do that. You can do it with weapons and armor, too. It's very cool, as long as it's all the same type. Let's see. Now it's nighttime. Let's take a quick nap. There was a blood moon earlier when I was getting ready for things. No harm, no foul. As you can see, my blood magic pool over there on the left-hand side, upper left corner, has made almost no progress from last episode. That's because I'm chunk loading. Oh, wait a minute. Back to this real quick. So after I re-disconnected this, made it to where it's only quartz fiber, this was still not importing. I don't know why. I disconnected all of this stuff, and this is a normal conduit. This is not an ME conduit. This is a normal covered cable from AE2. It's a normal import bus, and for some reason this stalled out, even after I had this completely disconnected and all of this powered off. It did not resolve itself until I rebooted the server. I don't know why. I'm guessing something got stuck. For some reason, it thought that this was still communicating with this, that these two were still connected, and it got stuck connected. That's my guess. I don't know why it is behaving now, but it could go wonky at any time. So, basically, what I decided to do is an alternative to using Ender IO. So Ender IO has an absolute limit. If we get, let's do an item conduit. We're going to do actually an advanced filter. That's perfect. Going to get one of those. And I'm just going to put that right there. If we put this here, it's actually still got stuff in it. You'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots. Okay? That's it. And we only have one of these, which means if I wanted more than 10 things, I would have to have all the different sides of this cube actually linked with cables. I thought that looked messy. I had it one block out from the room, completely surrounded with Ender IO item conduits, and then I thought, why don't I do this? Ender storage. This is an Applied Energistics 2 storage bus. This is a capacity card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 times 18, 27, 36. What is that? 45, 54, whatever. That's a lot more than than this, I think. It seems like it. It's all in one connection, and I only have to worry about one point of contact. That's it. It looks a lot more clean. Even if I had 4 of these, that's 40. This is going to get upwards above 60. It's like 9 times 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 times 7, which is what, 63? I think. Anyway, math is hard. So yeah, I like this better. This is a standalone system. It's got an energy acceptor right here. There's a power cable going under the floor to this little dimensional transceiver. And basically what I have is I have this set as a storage bus for all the stuff that shows up in my inventory when mining. Now this is only inventory. It's only these slots, not the hotbar, which means if I get a stack of cobblestone on the hotbar, it'll stay on the hotbar. That's important to me. I will still have a stack or however many stacks I want to have of cobblestone. Benefit number 2, this is only pulling out. The only thing that gets pulled out is something that's in the storage bus, because that's the only place this little system has to place things. So if something is not coded here, then it's not going to get pulled out. So if you notice, this is off right now, okay? There is a toggle bus right here that breaks connection with the import bus. If you watch it real quick, it's black right there in the middle. Lights up, so you can tell at a glance it's on. This is not gone, this is not gone, and this is not gone. Now if I wanted to, I could put this right there. And it's now gone. It got pulled out. We go over here. We're going to find it not in this chest, but in the buffer chest. So, I have an assurance that not everything will get pulled out of my inventory. I can turn the system on and off at will in case I'm working with shards or redstone or diamonds or whatever. If I'm working with any of these raw components, obsidian, then I don't have to worry about them getting pulled out. I just, when I'm going to go dump mining, turn this on, and that's it. Now, there's another secondary problem I was talking about with the Blood Network. Secondary problem is chunk loading. I'm using Forge 1291 right now, and I think that there is a problem between Forge 1291 and this. This is a dimensional anchor from Imabus, and for some reason this doesn't cooperate. I have it set to square, 9 by 9 chunks, okay? I'm going to show you. So that's a 9 by 9 area. Let's turn this on, and it's centered on this chunk, the workshop, okay? So that's basically going to be 4 in any direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So the entirety of this stretch of the actual cart system was still being chunk loaded. 1, 2, 3, and then way over here 4. So this whole part of the cart system was being chunk loaded. These, where my animals were, was getting chunk loaded. Should have been. So basically all the way up to here. This gets chunk loaded. All the way across here gets chunk loaded. Now we go over here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see I have tons of space over here that is getting chunk loaded that I technically don't need to have chunk loaded, but I wanted the whole base. And I got the whole base with a 9 by 9 area. The problem is, let's turn those off. Right now, there's stuff that's not getting chunk loaded. When I go offline, this well of suffering is supposed to continue working. And it doesn't. It's going right now because I'm standing here. but it should be generating blood for me even while I'm offline. I have had blood altars before with Wells of Suffering in 164 set up and chunk loaded, and they automatically added to my blood network as long as they were chunk loaded. They kept running, and they worked off of this same principle. Now, the only thing I can think of is that this has changed Cursed Earth, and Cursed Earth no longer spawns if there's not a player nearby. That's the only thing I can think of, and I'm not sure. You guys are going to have to tell me if you heard of something like that happening, because basically all of this stops working once I go offline. So, I don't know. But we are building up our blood in the blood network. We actually have a really nice buffer going on right now. Let's grab signal holding. We have 6.1 million. We're going to max out at 10 million for this particular tier, of orb. So yeah, that is what we're doing right now. Oh gosh. So we have this system. Let's go back over here. Set up. Thought that was a creeper for a second. Threw me off. Okay. Import bus. Real simple. No upgrade cards. I probably should put... Do I have any? Let's do... No, it's a fuzzy card. Let's pop over to the workshop real quick. Okay, what use do these have? Redstone card, redstone control. I probably could use that instead of an actual toggle bus. That's good to know. Crafting card. Capacity card. Let's do it this way. There we go. Acceleration card is what I'm looking for. Whoops. Yep. Acceleration card. And I don't have any of those advanced cards. Let's make some real quick. There we go. Hop back over here real quick. And now things will get pulled out post haste, which means if I turn this on, we can actually go mining to test the system out. Let's see. I'm going to head down here. Whee! Love being able to do that. If I grab... You notice? It didn't get pulled off the hotbar. I want to do that intentionally. I want that limitation. I am actually going to widen this out slightly. Let's go... this way, and I am pulling stuff off, and it's getting yanked out of my inventory. Now here's something interesting. I did code marble into the... Oh, I didn't put amber in. I coded gravel into it. I need to remember to put those two into it. How far down are we? We're at, let's see, 51. I mean 50. So if we do... just real easily make a set of stairs that goes down here. And now you can basically mine with impunity, you notice? How far down have we gone? Ooh, that's a long tunnel. why level 20, that's pretty good. Here's what I'm going to do. You increase the radius on the red morning star a whole bunch, and you just right-click. Now what you can do is right-click in the air, and it will grab all of the stuff out of the walls, even if you can't see it. So we slowly make our way up. And you notice? I am trying to fill this up, and the only thing that I've got is some things that I didn't code. That's it. If I want to get rid of this, I can. So now, first things first, actually, before we forget, always power down your weapons. Otherwise, you'll do what I did last episode and blow a hole in the side of a building. And that's always awkward. So now what I can do, we're going to put that there. It'll vanish. That there. It'll vanish. And we're going to get that. Put it right there. It'll vanish. Almost instantaneously, stuff disappears from our inventory. We can become a mining machine. The only thing we have to worry about now is making sure we don't overload our processing system. So here's our buffer chest, right? What I'm going to do is make sure, first I put these on the hotbar, make sure they do not disappear again. I think I've turned the system off, but just in case. Now, if we put those in there, there we go. We let this go about its merry way. This is why I have a buffer chest here that is a diamond chest. But now our inventory is inextricably linked to that, by way of that, is inextricably linked to our processing system. We can become a mining machine. The only thing we have to do is make sure and stop to check. Now, my next task would be trying to figure out a way that we can have an indicator remotely that tells us exactly how full this is. But I'm not sure how to do that. The reason I don't have an ender chest here is because ender chests don't have as much storage. Now, I could make the buffer chest another dimensional chest on a different page. This is $9.99. I could make this $9.98. It would be almost as much storage. This is a double chest, basically. It would be a double chest with the storage. It would be almost as much. You could set it down, check it, pick it back up. That's something to think about. But for right now, I think this is a pretty good system. Now, the only failure point we have is upgrading our factories. We have another step, elite factories, that we need to go to. That's going to go from 5 processing lines to 7. That, of course, means more power being used. If we look right now, get this. We just do a right click. I've actually lowered the numbers quite a bit in the config because I thought they were too high. But this is still using a steady supply of power. And this is a change that's going to go out, by the way, in the 108 update to the pack that's probably going to be hitting next week. I wanted to have it for this episode. It's not going to be this episode. I am still on 107 of the pack. But the big bottleneck is going to be making sure you have enough oxygen. If you look right here, I'm going through my oxygen at a breakneck pace, even though that this is actually making more. I can't keep up with this. I would have to have a much bigger oxygen production facility, and I don't have that right now. So that's next step, is getting this stuff and moving it to a bigger facility where we can have constant infinite oxygen and 7 times factories for all our processing needs. And of course, these are using, I have no energy upgrades in most of these machines. This is a 4 times right here, 4 times right here. I need to make some for these. This is only 2 times. So this thing is using 20 RF per tick. See, I don't get the difference between using and needed. I think it's actually using 134 RF, but I'm not sure. That says 27 RF per tick, 47 RF per tick, 47. So this adds up real quick on processing plus the actual AE system. But I think it's good. I really do like it. I'm hoping you guys are finding this idea appealing. I hope that you like the concept of basically having the capability for... See, this is half an RF. I'm just going to leave that on. I'm hoping you like the idea of having this endless kind of a system. I'm not even sure I need this thing for this small system. Do I? I'm going to assume I do. Because it is providing power to those things. I'm going to assume I do. It's okay. You guys can tell me otherwise. But I like this because I can come in here, turn it on, go into full hardcore mining mode with a red Morningstar or with my, oh gosh, my atomic disassembler, or even go beast mode with a bound pickaxe, whatever you wanted to. And this setup, I think, is going to be able to keep up with it. The only thing we might do is overrun the actual processing system. But I'm hoping you guys like this idea. And I'm just going to, let me go over this real quick one more time. This is real simple. This is an energy acceptor. It's just power for the system. I've got normal covered cables. That's what that is. Covered cable. Covered cable and a covered cable. That's it. Just covered cable, nothing fancy. There is a toggle bus right here that basically cuts power to the actual covered cable. I mean the import bus. So this cuts power, this covered cable loses power, which means the import bus loses power and it stops pulling things out of your inventory. That's my off switch, quote unquote. I probably could take one of these out and put a redstone control card, but I don't know, we'll see. Also, I have no idea what these are for. I gotta look that up. I'm not sure. I like this system because the storage bus affords us more than 60 slots for filter capabilities. If I wanted to, I could actually put a second one here and double it to well over 120. Just right on the side of the chest. That is so many filter slots. I think I'm going to be fine. I think this is going to work just great for our long-term capabilities. I've got all of the stuff that would normally clutter up our inventory when we do go mining, all the way down to clay. The only thing I don't have is dirt. And I might add dirt, specifically because, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to add dirt. Let's do dirt. Of course, this means I have to add it on both ends. I'm going to put it here. That's on the hot bar. I can turn this on and it won't get yanked away. But that does mean over here, I have to put it here as well to make sure this system knows where to put it. So now, that vanishes. It's not in the buffer chest. It's not in there. That went back to the actual system. So thanks to this whole system now, we can make our inventory self-cleaning. And I can see the number go back up. 2831. 2831. It's nice and simple, and it's efficient. I like it. I like the streamlined build setup. The only thing that I'm kind of on is having this right here. But what I might do is put some panel and box this in with some covers. And then I could put a lever hanging off the front of that. I think that could be really cool. I think carpenter's buttons can be made to change and work like levers, I think. Can't remember. Let's craft 10 of those. I think it is, yeah, carpenter's button. Okay, that's a standard button push. Carpenter's hammer. Inverted redstone output, normal redstone output. Okay, now it will not work like a switch. Wasn't sure, thought maybe it would, but it will not. I really would like a push button, kind of a, like a light switch on the wall. Something that's not as big as these big clunky levers. I don't know, but still, I might box this in. Maybe use the factory block from the floor, or maybe the stuff from the wall, box this in with some covers, hang the lever off the front. If I use a carpenter's lever, I can disguise a little bit more and make it look less cobblestone. Might do that in between this episode and next. I'm hoping you guys like this idea. I'm hoping that you will find use for it, whether you use my world or maybe you just want to put it to use in your own. I do think that this is actually a very cool idea. This motivates me to build out our processing into a standalone facility so we could really get like 5 times or 4 times ore processing, big factories, lots of oxygen production, and just basically empty out entire dimensions if we wanted to. I think that's a really neat idea. A little wonky, but I like this thing. Okay, it's Friday. You know what that means? Friday is World Download Day, which means this is where I strip down to my skivvies. I suddenly feel oh so slow. And I am going to put all of my cool stuff in here in the gearbox. I'm going to post a download for this episode, so when this episode gets up, by the time you see it, if I haven't forgotten, please, if I've forgotten, somebody say so in the comments. But it should be that once this episode is live, you can look in the video description, grab the world download, and you can use all of this to your heart's content. Go wild. This will be your system. By the way, all you got to do, go over here. If you right-click on this, I'm going to show you. Right-click. And it will say connected to. That will change it over to you. That's all that requires. Real simple. So you can download this and make this your auto processing system. Everything else of mine is in the gearbox or hanging on the rack right here. I love the Spider-Man t-shirt. I will catch you folks later. Make sure and have a great weekend. Remember,